yet. Suppose fire won't burn? Suppose the sun won't shine? That's the law of nature, Man. If you think I hain't got no sense at all, I just dare you to ask Doctor Carey. 'Twouldn't take him long to comb the kinks out of you." "I don't think you have left any, Granny," said the Harvester. "I see what you mean, and in all probability you are right, but I can't send for the girl." "Name of goodness! Why?" "Because I sent her away against her will, and now she is remaining so long that there is every probability she prefers the life she is living, and the friends she has made there, to Medicine Woods and to me. The only thing I can do now is to await her decision." "Oh good Lord!" groaned Granny. "You make me sick enough to kill. Touch up your nag and hustle me to Doc. You can't get me there quick enough to suit me." At the hospital she faced Doctor Carey. "I think likely some of my innards has got to be cut out and mended," she said. "I'll just take a few minutes of your time to examination me and see what you can do." In the private office she held the letters toward the doctor. "They hain't no manner of sickness ailin' me, Doc. The boy out there is in deep water, and I knowed how much you thought of him, and I hoped you'd give me a lift. I went over to his place this mornin' to take him a pie, and I found his settin' room fireplace heapin' with letters he'd writ to Ruth about things his heart was just so bustin' full of it eased him to write them down. And then he hadn't the horse sense and trust in her judgment to send them on to her. I picked 2 fats, a lean, and a middlin' for samples, and I thought I'd send them some way, and I struck for home with them, and he catched me plumb on the bridge. I had to throw my pie overboard, willer plate and all, and as God is my witness, I was so flustered the boy had good reason to think I was sick aplenty, and soon as he noticed it I thought of you spang off, and I knowed you'd know her whereabouts, and I made him fetch me to you. On the way I just dragged it from him that he'd sent her away his fool self, because she didn't sense what he meant by love, and she wa'n't beholden to him same degree and manner he was to her. Great day, Doc! Did you ever hear a piece of foolishness to come up with that? I told him to ask you. I told him you'd tell him that no clean, sweet minded girl ever had known nor ever would know what love means to a man till he marries her and teaches her. Ain't it so, Doc?"
"It certainly is."
"Then will you grind it into him clean to the marrer? And will you send these letters on to Ruthie?"
"Most certainly I will," said the doctor emphatically.
Granny opened the door and walked out. "I'm so relieved, David," she said. "He thinks they won't be no manner o' need to knife me. Likely he can fix up a few pills and send them out by mail, so's that I'll be as good as new again. Now we must get right out of here and not take valuable time. What do I owe you, Doc?"
"Not a cent,"
said Doctor Carey.
"Thank you very much for coming to see me. You'll soon be all right again."
"I was some worried. Much obliged, I am sure. Come on."
"1 minute," said the doctor. "David, I am making up a list of friends to whom I am going to send programs of the medical meeting. I thought your wife might like to see you among the speakers, and your subject. What is her address?" A slow red flushed the Harvester's cheeks. He opened his lips and hesitated. At last he said, "I think perhaps her people prefer that she receive mail under her maiden name while with them. Miss Ruth Jameson, care of Alexander Herron, 5770 Chestnut Street, Philadelphia, will reach her." The doctor wrote the address as if it were the most usual thing in the world, and asked the Harvester if he was ready to make the trip east. "I think we had best start to night," he said. "We want a day to grow accustomed to our clothes and new surroundings before we run up squarely against serious business." "I will be ready," promised the Harvester. He took Granny home, set his house in order, installed the man he was leaving in charge, touched a match to the heap in the fireplace, and donning the new travelling suit he went to Doctor Carey's. Mrs. Carey added a few touches, warned him to remember about the forks and spoons, and not to forget to shave often, and saw them off. At the station Carey said to him, "You know, David, we can change at Wayne and go through Buffalo, or we can take the Pittsburgh and go and come through Philadelphia." "I am contemplating a trip to Philadelphia," said the Harvester, "but I believe I will not be ready for, say, a month yet. I have a theory, and it dies hard. If it does not work out the coming month, I will go, perhaps, but not now. Let us see how many kinds of a fool I make of myself in New York before I attempt the Quakers." Almost to the city, the doctor smiled at the Harvester. "David, where did you get your infernal assurance?" he asked. "In the woods," answered the Harvester placidly, "in doing clean work, with my fingers in the muck, and life literally teeming and boiling in sound and action, around, above, and beneath me. A right estimate of my place and province in life comes naturally. In daily handling stores on which humanity depends. I go even deeper than you surgeons and physicians. You are powerless unless I reinforce your work with drugs on which you can rely. I do clean, honest work. I know its proper place and value to the world. That is why I called what I have to say the man in the background. There is no reason why I should shiver and shrink at meeting and explaining my work to my fellows. Every man has his vocation, and some of you in the limelight would cut a sorry figure if the man in the background should fail you at the critical moment. Don't worry about me, Doc. I am all serene. You won't find I possess either nerves or fear. Be sure you are right, and then go ahead, is my law." "Well, I'll be confounded!" said the doctor. In a large hall, peopled with thousands of medical men, the name of the Harvester was called the following day, and his subject was announced. He arose in his place and began to talk. "Take the platform!" came in a roar from 100 throats. The Harvester hesitated. "You must, David," whispered Carey. The Harvester made his way forward and was guided through a side door, and a second later calmly walked down the big stage to the front, and stood at ease, looking over his audience, as if to gauge its size and the pitch to which he should raise his voice. His lean frame loomed every inch of his 6 feet. His broad shoulders were square, his clean shaven face alert and afire. He wore a spring suit of light gray of good quality and cut, and he was perfect as to details. "This scarcely seems compatible with my subject," he remarked casually. "I certainly appear very much in the foreground just at present, but perhaps that is quite as well. It may be time that I assert myself. I doubt if there is a man among you who has not handled my products more or less. You may enjoy learning where and how they are prepared, and understanding the manner in which my work merges with yours. I think perhaps the first thing is to paint you as good a word picture as I can of my geographical location." Then the Harvester named latitude and longitude and degrees of temperature. He described the lake, the marsh, the wooded hill, the swale, the open sunny fields. He spoke of water, soil, shade, and geographical conditions. "Here I was born," he said, "on land owned by my father and grandfather before me, and previous to them by the Indians. My male ancestors, so far as I can trace them, were men of the woods, hunters, trappers, herb gatherers. My mother was from the country, educated for a teacher. She had the most inexorable will power of any woman I ever have known. From my father I inherited my love for muck on my boots, resin in my nostrils, the long trail, the camp fire, forest sounds and silences in my soul. From my mother I learned to read good books, to study subjects that puzzled me, to tell the truth, to keep my soul and body clean, and to pursue with courage the thing to which I set my hand. There was not money enough to educate me as she would. Together we learned to find it in the forest. In early days we sold ferns and wild flowers to city people, harvested the sap of the maples in spring and the nut crop of the fall. Later, as we wanted more, we trapped for skins and collected herbs for the drug stores. This opened to me a field I was peculiarly fitted to enter. I knew woodcraft instinctively.